This public hearing is now called to order at 6 p.m. on February 28th, 2024. This hearing is being held as required by the provisions of Chapter 131, Section 40 of the General Laws of the Commonwealth, an act relative to the protection of the wetlands is most recently amended. Notice of the time and place of this hearing was originally published in the Favored Neighborhood News on December 7, 2023. It was also posted in the town clerk's office. Persons wishing to be heard will be called in the following order. First order of business, minutes for approval. December 13, 2023, minutes, review of matters presented, votes may be taken. Joanne, I think you did a good job. I had no problems with them. Anybody?
I haven't seen nothing wrong with it.
Nope, they're really good.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
I abstain.
Oh, Everett was not at that meeting, correct. I was waiting for you to make the motion, Everett.
I know you were.
Okay, next order of business, old business, continued public hearing, notice of intent for Kenneth and Giselle Camara, 12 Arches Way, map 16, lot 18F, SE file number 0010590. A notice of intent was filed by Kenneth and Giselle Camara for property located at 12 Arches Way. The applicant proposes to construct a new garage with covered patio, access driveway, and related site work within the 100-foot buffer zone for a bordering vegetated wetland. The applicant is represented by Rick Sharon of Sharon Associates Incorporated Engineers. Plan name is Plan of Site Improvements in New Garage dated November 9th, 2023. Rick Sharon requested a continuance to the March 13th meeting. Review matters presented, votes may be taken. So I will entertain a motion to continue to the March 13th meeting.
Second.
So, motion, right?
Everett made the motion?
Yep, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's unanimous. Okay. No new business, nothing under, well, I guess I'll go to updates with that then. Nothing under stormwater discussion. 12 Mattapoisett Road, possible wetlands violation, review of matters presented, votes may be taken. The commission conducted a site visit at 12 Mattapoisett Road on Saturday. And the site itself, I feel, looked good. The erosion control, I inspected it on both sides the whole way around. There wasn't anything breached. The wetlands have not been compromised at all. I think the site looked pretty good. That's my opinion. The issue at hand here is the RDA that was filed in 2015 is expired. So that's how this was brought to our attention, and that's kind of where we're at. So there's been correspondence with, and records kept of correspondence with both agents that we have had in the past, and all the changes that were made to the site were known by those agents or the agent, and the erosion control was signed off on by our previous agent. The issue is the records that were initially filed do not match. I mean, the plans that were originally filed do not match the plans that have been updated with the Board of Health. So that's what we have to deal with. So, you know, I had recommended filing a notice of intent, and that, you know, there was a motion made at the previous meeting to similar, and I have reached out to somebody that I confide in with my idea on how to proceed, and the recommendation, he agreed with my recommendation, and he gave me the idea that when I told him my biggest issue was that the plans do not match what had been recorded, he told me, he said, well, instead of having him file a notice of intent, have him file another idea. That way, those records, those plans will be recorded to what's existing. I didn't see any violations out there. So,
Well, I kind of beg to differ with that. It's like, you look at the wetlands flags, and even right up against the silk fence, right as we walk to the edge of the property, he's got a bunch of stuff stored right up against the silk fence. All kinds of pipe or whatever that was, some old fencing or whatever that was. And even that pile of dirt, I mean, he's within the 50-foot buffer zone. That pile of dirt is within the 50-foot buffer zone. And I'm just saying that is a violation of the Wetlands Protection Act.
I don't, I agree, the material should be moved, you know. But as for the erosion controls haven't been compromised. They're functioning, nothing has gone beyond their limit of work.
But the last meeting, you said yourself, nothing should be done, no work should take within the 25-foot.
It's not in the 25-foot buffer zone.
That silk fence is right at the what, 50-foot? Is that what that silk fence is?
I'd say 35.
Well, there's no flags out there, so we couldn't see that. And according to what the plans show that we seen, which ain't even updated to today, but those plans that we see shows that the flags were put right up against that silk fence.
I got a beg to differ on that too. Alright, so if you looked at the pile of dirt, for one, there was no sign of wetland material. If you didn't notice, there was a previously old trench that was in the back. I went over to it and scrubbed it. None of the material was wetland material. So I understand where it might have used to be, but a lot of things weren't done correctly as I've gone through on other projects, and I don't even believe that is a true wetland. There's a lot of up pines, so if we're gonna make us think about it, we should at least give the guy an option to maybe have it reflagged.
But I mean, the wetlands that are on that plans are the wetland flags, even though they're not on the property that we went
When
there
were they done?
If
5 years ago,
If you look at the plans,
2015.
the wetland flags are about 15 feet beyond that fence.
Do you have a set of plans with you?
Not on me.
Can I see the set of plans, please?
The silt fence, I believe, is about 10 to 15 feet away from the silt fence line.
You want the plan that's filed with our office, not.
Did you have a flag? Did you have a flag?
Was it
previously
previously flagged, 2015.
Do you know when it was flagged, when you bought the property?
I would assume it was done before the RDA was submitted, something of that nature, around that time frame.
So the wet flag A16, 15, 14, those are right on the silk fence. Every single one of them is right on the silk fence. And if you look at it this way, and even the new ones, have the new plans, just so I can make sure that they are the same. And this is exactly where the silk fence is.
It's not. Look at if that erosion control,
Look, it's just silt fence.
the dotted line is the silt fence.
Correct, that's the limited
This
work
is
area.
silt fence. Alright, so where's the scale now? Right over here.
Yeah, but I was looking at this one, the one that was in our office.
Hold
So
on,
that's
hold on,
why-
hold
okay,
on,
well,
hold
I'm
on.
going back to this one.
Let's continue with
That weird little bump out right there in the center of the lot.
1 inch to 20, every 20, 1 inch.
1 inch equals 20
foot.
That's
So
about
I'd say
3/4 of an inch.
I'd say that's about an inch, your thumb's about an inch.
About 3/4 of an inch.
So it's
Yeah.
about 20 foot, it's almost 20 foot
Yeah.
off.
So from this to that is a 50-foot buffer zone, so everything with that whole stone wall on that corner is within the 50-foot buffer zone.
Yeah.
And then if he hadn't excavated down here working, he's within the 25-foot area of it.
But we already went through that, it was already previously okayed by.
It wasn't okay. All right,
It was okay.
No, not really.
Well, we're not just gonna sit here and argue about
No,
that.
I'm not gonna argue.
I have emails from our former agent.
And I read the emails, and I also seen that Pat signed off on it on February of 2022 for the septic. The
Right.
stone wall didn't get started until after March of 2023. So even when Pat went and visited the erosion control, there was no stone wall being put up, and he didn't have the print of any stone wall going up. Pat didn't. Pat had the plan, the original plans in our office is what Pat went by.
Pat was the assistant health agent,
Yes, he was.
so he's seen those plans in the health department.
He signed off on the septic system.
That's not what he's saying.
Okay. No.
So no
Then
matter,
you guys do whatever you want, is all I'm gonna say, do whatever you want. I don't agree with it.
So no matter what, the former agent saw those plans. Or should have seen those plans, because that's what he was.
And he went out there to visit, all he saw was the erosion control.
Okay, so look at this.
The NEM map on March 23rd was, that wall was not built on 2022 when Pat signed off on it.
Okay,
I work in the Board of Health, and I can honestly say that I don't believe that Pat would have looked at those. Joe handles all that. Pat may have been able to look at him, but he did not do that as part of his job.
And the other battle here is this site plan doesn't even represent the scope of work at this point in time of day.
how so?
The original plan showed a riprap, which is a sloped wall which you can build from the bottom up.
That is what it.
No, he didn't. That's 2 stone walls, and he built it down below, facing it. When you build a riprap wall, you can build it from the toe up. So instead, he put his excavator down on the, encroaching on the 25-foot area, I believe, and built from the face, right at the face. Am I correct?
So how are you gonna prove that?
He already said it, that he built it down below from means and methods. Last meeting, it's on record.
I only did what Marilee asked me to do. That's all I can tell you. Marilee knew, she signed off on it. We have the
And-
signature
and
from
that's-
Marilee.
And it never went before a commission. So I don't think 2 wrongs, or it's something that expired, and 2 wrongs make it a right.
But if he was told to proceed as he did, we're not gonna go back and punish him for something that he was told to do. That just doesn't make sense.
Then let's go forward with an NOI then, after effect NOI.
The work's done. The work's done. There's nothing, what conditions are we gonna put on that?
It never
There's not
went,
gonna be a machine there. There's nothing we can change. The work is done. He was told to proceed as he did. Having a notice
It's
of
all
intent.
hearsay.
The biggest thing is having these plans, his current plans that he's going by, recorded so that there's no discrepancies there.
But this
This-
plan doesn't even match the current project.
He can when he comes to us to file, I recommend him coming to us to file another IDA. The plans that he presents to us will.
so we're not gonna go with a stormwater or nothing?
It's a single family dwelling.
Yep. With a wall existing over 12 feet,
It's a single family dwellings.
so
are
it's exempt?
Yes. Single family dwellings are exempt from the Massachusetts stormwater standard. So my recommendation would be to have Mr. Pye's engineer come in, file an IDA, so we can get these plans recorded properly. I think that's the fairest way. It'll be right by us, and
No, it's right by you.
I wanna make a motion that he just has a new RDA recorded with updated plans.
I'll second that motion.
there's a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No? Yes?
Nope.
All right.
So who, no Doug and
No Doug, no Jimmy.
We'll pass.
All right, so
Yeah.
have your engineer get the
Updated plan.
updated plans with what you got going on there and come back to us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, thank you.
All right. Chairman updates. MACC conference will be held on March 2nd, 2024 at Holy Cross College. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members going? Four members. It's a wealth of knowledge. It's definitely worth it. Not on our agenda, which would be under other business, that may properly come before the commission, not reasonably anticipated when posting 48 hours prior to the meeting. There's an issue at 550 Main Street. at the, is it Navison?
Navison is 550, 582 is Mr. Walsh.
Okay, so coming from 550 through 582 Main Street, one of the basins is releasing a significant amount of water into 582's backyard, and it's going down through the woods and into the pond that's in its backyard. I've reached out to Steve Campbell from Navison, waiting to hear a call back. The Board of Selectmen are aware of the issue because I received an email from Selectman Hinckley. I actually saw him when I was leaving the site on the road, so I don't know if he was heading there or not as well, but everybody's aware of the issue, so I don't know. I don't know. This is, you know, it's a real issue. I don't know what's causing it. The last time we had seen Mr. Campbell, he came to a meeting. He said that the basins were plugged. I don't know if they started discharging or not. I don't know. I'm waiting for answers, but
It's 550 meters.
yeah. So there's that. I'll update the commission once I find out from Steve Campbell what's going on.
Did anybody go down there and take a look?
I went down there, and then I believe Mr. Selectman Hinckley went down there as well.
Basin's full.
The basin, the secondary basin was full, yeah, to the top. And the other basin I couldn't see was inside the fence, and there's shielding up.
It didn't look like it was coming over the top, did it?
It wasn't coming over the top, it was coming through the pipe, because I went into 582's yard, I got permission from him, I spoke with him, went and saw the water coming through the woods. I went up to the pipe, and water was coming out of the pipe, the discharge pipe. And it was running all the way down through the woods to his yard, into the pond.
No grass over there, is there?
No, it's all leaves and scrub.
You didn't see no runoff, like trenches from runoff or anything?
Oh, there was trenches, new trenches were made. There's one trench that goes through, there's like a little pipe that goes into that pond from, you know, but there was new ones being made. So there was a significant amount of water coming out of that.
It's on Facebook.
And yeah, so it's, Joanne sent me an email with videos from the homeowner, and I will forward them to the commission for your information.
Thanks.
All right. Future business. The next Conservation Commission meeting will be March 13th, 2024. All right. So with
I
that,
have a question.
Yes.
Any progress on the agent?
I have not heard anything, but we need one.
We need to consult, we need an agent, we need something.
Right.
Nothing on my status either, I haven't heard anything.
I haven't heard anything.
I wouldn't.
Right, has anyone reached out to Bill from GAF?
I've spoken to Bill from GAF a couple times, but I can, I'll email Jamie Kelly and see if in the meantime we can get.
I mean,
Should we post something?
all day
in the
long is
paper?
basically just waiting on customers and emailing you. That's what I did all day.
No, I get it. I got a lot of emails
Post
today.
something in
A lot of time consumed in just not having somebody in the office handling this stuff.
Right. I agree. It's a lot. My wife's gonna divorce me.
Oh, you're a lucky man. I didn't say that.
No, so that, you know, I'll reach out and see where the progress is. I don't know if there's been any inquiries. I haven't heard anything.
Where is it posted?
It is. It's posted on the MMA website and on the town's website. So
I don't, I wouldn't really hold my breath on that.
yeah, I mean they've been looking for a planner for a year. So
And
Well, how can we keep operating like this? I mean,
Well-
there's deadlines, it's not like, there's a solution here.
no, I know.
we understand.
No, if I take a week's vacation, what's gonna happen?
Well, I think that's gonna be something the town's gonna have to take care of.
Yeah,
There'll be no
it's
meeting
not-
then,
Yeah.
'cause-
It's not us volunteers that are gonna have to deal with it.
right. I mean, the only other option
And stuff, but that's what back
Meet
is.
once a
is
month.
finding somebody to do it per diem. Is that, I mean, how does that work with the
I don't think
unions? You know,
somebody's
I don't
gonna
know, there's a lot.
understand enough to prepare something for an agenda, are they gonna understand what to do?
I don't think, period, we're gonna find someone that understands. Period. How many, if there's anybody that understands, they already got a job where they're making a lot more money. That's just being serious.
Yeah.
I already reached out, people are making quadruple the money that we're offering.
I'm
so
telling
like I
you,
said, I wouldn't hold
get
our
paid
breath.
to do what I'm doing.
Right.
Right,
It's getting old though, quick.
yeah,
And the only
So-
other option would be this, if anything, if it hits the fan, it's gonna be, probably state's gonna end up picking it up.
yeah, I don't know what the option is. I'll explore them.
But we have
Maybe we can
Wetlands
ask Laura at the
Protection Act money
conference.
for the use of that, for the reason.
And if we don't use it, we'll lose it.
Well, no, not that, but
Yeah.
we won't lose it.
No, it's,
No,
But we have to
Somebody-
make sure the
somebody's
proper
gonna know.
channels
Yeah.
are followed to keep and retain the use of that money.
right,
I'll talk to somebody at the conference, see if they know.
Yes, that would be great, because I've been speaking with somebody from MACC about that.
And just,
And what happens when you don't have the support to use that money, which we've used all along for 20, 30 years since I've been here.
right.
So that's the challenge that we have.
what do you mean use the money?
To use the WPA money, it has to be approved by the town administrator. And if it doesn't get approved, we're not being able to use it for the purpose that it's set aside for. So
What's it set aside for?
it said, all you can use WPA money for is to pay the staff or a consultant.
Oh.
And it doesn't have any effect on the taxpayers' money because it's all coming in from the revenue you take in from notice of intents and filings.
Okay.
maybe it'd be in your
But
best
that's all it can be used for. It can't be used to purchase computers or train. I mean, it can be used for training, but not for like, you know, desks or chairs or paper or print.
Yeah.
It's specifically to enforce the Wetlands Protection Act.
What about, would it be in your favor to apply?
No, thank you.
Well, I'm just being honest, if
I do not
would you
have
make more
that.
money? Cause I know how you're having trouble with the money that the town,
You,
it's,
you have to be somebody that is well versed in,
Right.
like what Pat had knowledge of,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to
Well-
attend site visits.
So if there's anybody
You're
out
almost
there
a botanist.
watching,
You should go do
Yeah.
it.
need a
right.
I
conservation
was
agent.
told I can't. I already offered.
Yeah. You already got your botanist degree, right?
Well, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So Eric, I just have one thing I'd like to share with the board.
Yeah.
I reached out to Mr. Kelly via email on Monday with the request for an answer that I did make a visit to his office a couple of months ago in request for the ID badges for all of us as members of this board. I received that response pretty immediately, and Mr. Kelly's response was via email to me. It has been decided that only employees / agendas, not committee members, would receive an ID badge.
Okay.
Okay? So my issue with that is he's putting this board at risk for these site visits that we make on people's personal private property without a valid ID. I know I wear a uniform with a badge every single day. People identify who I am. If I should stop somebody or make a correction of a problem, my name's on my uniform. I wear a badge every single day. People don't question who I am because I have a valid ID. I wear a uniform with a badge. I feel that with the world that we live in, these people are gonna refuse site visits to their personal private property. And that's going to cause a problem for us doing our jobs as committee members going forward to conduct business for this town.
Doug, do you have an ID?
Yeah, I
A
do.
regular driver's license?
Yes, I do.
You have a cell phone, right?
Yes, I do.
You can always, if there's any problem, you can always go onto the town website, which lists all of our names, and show them your ID, and say, see, my name's Doug Thomas. Doug Thomas is listed as a commissioner. You know, at the end of the day, we could do that, so that would be a loophole around that.
Yep.
Just talking about technology, we do have it at our hands.
Well, even when we went out
And
to.
and as for our Saturday site visits, that's all prearranged, everybody's notified, I mean, we know we're coming. And if they don't answer, we don't go. So, I mean, I conducted a site visit today, Joanne left me the homeowner's phone number, I called him up, I said, hey, I'm in your driveway, can I go look? He said, yeah, go ahead. So, I mean, I haven't had any issues since I've been on the commission, 4+ years, I get it. It's been asked, you got an answer, it's not the one you wanted. Like I said, I reached out to him as well, I didn't receive a response.
Yeah.
You were a little more persistent than I was, I mean, I can go either way. I get it, I understand. But that's a great idea, Eric. I mean,
Yeah, push comes to shove, you know, if you're ever in a position, I mean, that's what I would do if I was put in the position. You know, like, here you go, here's the website, I'm listed, here's my ID, you want my voiceless license, how many more IDs do you want, you know?
okay,
Only other thing was, anything come up about that haze problem you mentioned?
no,
No,
I haven't,
You haven't reached out to
I
the
haven't.
engineer?
Of
Yeah, I
not
haven't heard
haze.
anything either
No.
anymore.
I
I asked
haven't,
him to sign the contract, to send it back to us, and got nothing.
I don't think anything's gone on there, has it? I mean,
No, I haven't, nothing.
I can reach out again.
I think just some surveys been done out there, that's it.
Yeah.
I see the stakes for every building that's going up.
What's that?
Out on my shopping list.
And knocks.
Oh,
But we don't know
Just
if
see what he
the
wrote.
bond has been placed
It
up,
was
and
page
there's no
3.
stormwater permit issued on it. Did Pat have to issue a stormwater permit?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either.
No, it's not what the same for Deep Brook
Yeah,
and
right.
anyone else,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, I don't think, they don't have a stormwater.
Deep Brook either?
The one he
You
came
can probably reach out to,
Oh, yeah.
and who can reach out to town
Surety.
council and find out the exact law about if he can have it into his own
That's what we
account, or if it has to go to the town too.
Yeah, I think the treasurer could help with that.
Yeah,
I think Dave
Oh.
DeVito is first on
I'll reach out
the
to
bond.
All right. So we got that now. There's a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
second?
All those in favor?
Aye.